What's up, guys? Tech Peasants Podcast, episode 15. We got a three-man crew this time. We got Daniel and Jacob.
Hello. How dare Kevon have to work to gain monetary value so he can actually afford to live?
How dare he be responsible?
How dare he be responsible? Fuck Kevon.
Wow.
Well, Tech Peasants Podcast,
where we occasionally talk about video games. So, Monty, what are we talking about this week?
The main topic this week is we're going to go over Sony's Paris Games Week conference announcements. And then we have a few other things that happened in the week, but the Games Week is the true focus. So I'll start out by briefly mentioning the highlights of the pre-show, because it is a pre-show for this again. They announced more or less the irrelevant things here, and then they started out with announcing Guacamelee 2.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, was that the game that was going to interest me? Oh, okay. Yeah, I love Guacamelee. They're making a sequel. Awesome.
Yep. That, and then they ended it with this game with Spelunky 2.
Spelunky 2.
I don't care about that. But Guacamelee.
Yeah.
That was the pre-show. More or less just VR stuff in between.
Are they going to do a Super Turbo Championship 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Possibly.
Get your memes out of here.
No, they legit called their ultimate expansion Super Turbo Extreme Championship Edition.
That's the one I got on Plus 1 month. I'm like,
yeah,
what the fuck
that's what
is
I
this
used
title?
too. And it's basically everything, all the DLC and whatnot. Did it have DLC?
Yeah.
Scratch that. It might not have had DLC. I don't know.
I think it did. I'm not entirely sure.
I don't know.
Anyway, it was just the ultimate package.
Ew.
But yeah,
I love Guacamelee.
That was the pre-show. Started with Guacamelee, ended with Spelunky 2. A bunch of stuff in between, mostly VR stuff. I mean, the VR support is there. I'm glad they're still supporting it. They've got some good stuff. They announced one game in the actual conference that was pretty cool, so I'll get to that in a sec. We have the conference itself, the main conference, started out with a game called Ghost of Tsushima. This is what
Sushi?
Tsushima.
Yes.
And this is what Sucker Punch has been working on for the
here.
last 4 years. They've been quiet. Or wait, 4 or 3. Excuse me, 3.
3.
They've been dead quiet for the last 3 years. We finally see what they're working on. It's a samurai game based in like 1274 in feudal Japan, around the time when the Mongol invasion happened. So you play as one of the last remaining samurai, trying to save feudal Japan from the invasion. This is what they've been working on since they finished First Light. Dead quiet. They didn't give a release date or anything, but we know it's them. 3 years, we should, in my opinion, get gameplay at PSX and a release date by either late 2018 or early 2019. It shouldn't take any longer than that, because they've been dead quiet for 3 fucking years.
You can't blame them for being quiet, though, because, I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I feel like game devs shouldn't announce their games too early.
Yeah.
Because obviously the hype is going to be there, and then it'll die down, and then once a game comes out, no one really cares about it too much anymore.
Yeah.
But
the thing with Sucker Punch, though, Sony executives had said they had played their new game back in 2016.
Really?
Saying, oh yeah, this is a really fun game they're working on. What the hell took you guys so long?
I don't know.
Still not give a release date. Like, oh my god.
They didn't.
They blew the budget on T.
The visuals were a huge step up over Infamous.
Oh god, yeah.
Infamous games.
It is very good visuals.
So the graphics are definitely on point. I'm looking forward to it. I mean,
it's supposed to be a huge open world game based on what they say is action and stealth.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's gonna be a hack and slash.
The ending of the trailer, I think that was gameplay. It showed him throw like a bomb underneath the horse.
Yeah.
They showed him like stealth
It'll
jump onto someone.
probably be actually kind of more like
Sly more than Infamous.
Yeah, that or kind of like Uncharted or Metal Gear, you know. I'm thinking of stealth kind of like that, but action sequences would be hack and slash.
He was getting up high, so I assume you'll be able to like jump around through tree branches and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
it wouldn't. He'd have to parkour.
Yeah,
it's got to be like Infamous.
So yeah, that was that. They announced a game called Concrete Genie. It's an indie game where this guy was like drawing pictures on the wall that would come to life. Interesting, I'll say that.
Sleep, Genie.
Yeah, I sleep.
Wow.
Then they talked about this thing called Playlink, which is more or less how you can interact with the game through your phone or tablet or whatever instead of using an actual controller. It's like an interactive experience. I'm like,
I want a controller. I don't need anything fancy.
And it's like it's live action recordings, and you just influence. You more or less choose what happens in the next scene. It's corny.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like The Bunker.
What's that?
The Bunker was that live action game that was released last year. It was like
that sounds familiar.
Kind of like a point and click game that was done with live action.
Probably that, because like they showed you could choose between like, oh, you have a knife. This one guy surprises you.
It was critically acclaimed. The Bunker.
And I'm sure people will like these games, but I'm not interested.
But would you say like the gameplay is sort of like Dragon's Lair?
No, it's live action, and then like for example,
no, I mean like the gameplay is like Dragon's Lair.
I wouldn't call it gameplay. No, not even Dragon's Lair, because it's like you get options. Like she was holding a knife, and one person.
It's more like a
there.
DVD game.
Yeah, it's like do you select trust or do you select slash?
Oh, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was called Erica. So they did a PSVR montage, which was actually good. I'm glad they did a montage instead of focusing on
like
individual VR
allotting
games.
time for VR games that only appeal to a minority of people.
Yeah. However, they didn't show the VR game that looks pretty cool called Blood and Truth, and this is basically the London heist from the demo disc made into a full game. Basically, you walk around London you can dual wield guns, you can use guns. The visuals looked very good for a VR game, and they said full length. It looks great. Like that's a VR game I would buy the headset for. If they have more like that, I might consider getting one eventually. So yeah, Blood and Truth. They show a trailer for Far Cry 5. That game's looking pretty cool.
Yeah, the co-op for it.
Yep. Then we got a trailer for Destiny 2. Showing the first DLC off. Curse of Osiris. Comes out December 5th.
All right.
Comes out December 5th on all platforms.
Do people really care about Destiny?
Yeah. It's the highest selling game this year so far.
I despair.
And even I play it for the gameplay. The story in Destiny is still average at best. But they tried with this one, I guess. But Bungie, I just don't like how Bungie fucks you. Yeah.
Most of triple gay game.
Now Bungie,
triple gay games.
Yeah, triple gay games. I don't like how they fuck
Bungie
you.
Bungie fucks you worse than most games, though. That's like what they did with the first Destiny. I'm surprised they didn't get sued for doing that kind of crap, because they literally took away content from you if you didn't buy the DLC. But anyway,
it's the hot new game.
I'm probably ain't getting the season pass, but that's a different story. They showed off Monster Hunter World.
Oh,
and the cool thing with this on PlayStation, you can play as Aloy
from
Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they give you a skin,
and there'll be a beta starting in December on PS4, so I'll probably check that out. They show a trailer for Call of Duty World War II. I sleep.
Yeah, sleep. Call of Sleep.
Then they show a game called OnRush, which is this crazy over-the-top racing game made by Codemasters. And the cool thing about this is Evolution Studios got closed down last year because Sony is stupid. So a lot of the ex-employees went to go work for Codemasters. So the trailer kind of looked like it made this game look like a spiritual successor to MotorStorm. So I'm already interested in this. I want to see more, because MotorStorm was one of my favorite games last gen.
Speaking of closed down studios, are we going to be talking about that?
Visceral?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about that for a sec, because the reason why...
I was going to say, are we going to talk about that later?
Yeah, we can talk about it later. We can talk about it later, because
I got my 2 cents to say about that.
I got a rant on EA for that decision.
Anyway, continuing on with the Paris whatever.
Yep. They showed a trailer for Battlefront 2. Game looks awesome. I'm looking forward to the campaign. Well, the multiplayer, we'll see. And they said that they're going to discount that game around the time Last Jedi comes out. So I don't know why the fuck they would say that before the game came out.
I don't know.
I'm going to wait and just buy it then. So, yeah. They show off a new trailer for Spider-Man.
This
looks great.
showed a lot more, and a release date.
Yeah, well
a release year. Yeah.
So that looks great. They showed an interactive trailer for Detroit Become Human, where basically,
which looks awesome.
Yeah, in this trailer, this guy lives like alone with his daughter, so he gets the android Kara, and it shows like how he's basically abusing his daughter.
He's an abusive,
and like all the different choices you can take can wind up in like, oh, she like escapes. He kills her in one, I think it was.
Yeah,
and then like there's one where she kills him, and there's like a whole bunch of different outcomes to this game.
Like you play as the android, and you have to make decisions based on like, so if you want to follow the laws of robotics and just be that bland robot.
You're talking about that game.
Yeah.
I was sitting here thinking, what the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah,
oh,
so
it's
like,
that game now.
You can be like passive and just let everything happen, or you can take a stand, stop the abusive father from killing his daughter.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, that game looks awesome. They gave a release window for that next year. I think they said early next year.
Personally, I haven't any interest in it. There are games in the past that developer has done that I really liked. Heavy Rain. I really liked Heavy Rain, but the more I look at the way that they write their stories and the way they structure their games, I'm just like, why did I like this? Why did I like this? I haven't played any. I haven't any interest in it.
I haven't played.
They're on PS4, like remastered, kind of. I might pick them. I want Beyond Two Souls. I played a demo for that. That one was more interesting because you control like this force. Yeah. So that show off that. It showed a new gameplay section for God of War. Still no release date. Only 2018.
Oh yeah, no release date yet.
It showed off a trailer for Horizon Zero Dawn: The Frozen Wilds, which comes out next week on Tuesday.
Frozen yogurt. Horizon, the frozen yogurt.
That would be like a Mario version of it.
Yeah.
Can't wait
at
for
the
that
Luncheon Kingdom.
Yes.
They showed off that. They showed off a new trailer for Shadow of the Colossus, where he was fighting.
New trailer?
Yeah.
Oh,
he was fighting. I don't know the names
like
of the Colossi. This flying thing,
like
he had to shoot the air sacs.
Oh, that's my favorite one. That's the Leviathan. I love. That's my favorite boss fight in the entire game.
They saw him climbing the wing, get to the spot, and Rise and Life comes down. They end the trailer right there and show the title.
I can't wait to play that.
I love that one. The Leviathan is my favorite boss. I love that. That's the boss that Counterattack plays. That the song from Shadow of the Colossus that I really like.
Okay.
The one that I'm constantly listening to whenever I listen to Shadow of the Colossus, Counterattack. It's a good song.
They did that, and they ended the show with a new trailer for The Last of Us Part 2.
Yep.
That was brutal as fuck.
Yes.
I haven't seen that.
It was
intense.
It
starts off, you see two people, you think, oh, that's Joel and Ellie. It's not. It's two people carrying this woman. They hang her, put her on a bucket. And I guess
and they kind of like show people that they hung before.
Yeah.
So like, and they were gutted.
And they
were disemboweled.
This woman was about to do that to her.
Yeah.
But she got stopped, and it basically just shit went left. Shit was so left. There was a part where a woman got her arm bashed in with a hammer.
Yeah. This woman that those people.
Oh my god.
The same people that took that one lady at the beginning, they took this Asian woman or something and asked her something, and she was like, she spat in the lady's face, and so she's like, clip her wings, and then so the guy gets a hammer and they throw her on the ground, hold her arms down, and they bash one of her arms with the hammer and break it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
It's intense.
Yeah, then a lot of people were like, "What the hell is this game?" Because there were no characters.
Yeah,
I see their pun though. Clip her wings, the fireflies.
Yeah.
It's funny.
So then, like, a lot of people were thinking, "What the hell is this game?"
Hey, that's actually,
I think
that
was
Asian woman
Fireflies.
could have been a firefly.
Yeah, I think it was.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then
hence that line, clip her wings.
Yeah, and then like they show the woman, they cut her down. After they team up so they can kill the one. Mm-hmm. So then she grabs the hammer out of her head. And then as she starts looking off to the sound, you see clickers start running at them.
Yep. Yeah.
And people were like, who the fuck were these characters?
Wait, so she was a shark? Hammerhead. She was a shark.
Go away.
So the theory most people have is that this was a flashback taking place like 6 years after the outbreak started. And that the woman that was tied up was Ellie's mom. And you can kind of hear her voice, and they look similar.
I heard it.
That's definitely Ellie's mom. Naughty Dog can't damage control that. That's Ellie's mom.
And I wonder if if the lady who was holding the knife towards supposedly Ellie's mom, I wonder if she knew that she was pregnant or something, and was like kind of like saying, oh well,
I think she did,
maybe like we don't allow this or something, and we'll show you, trying to like.
I feel like that was a religious group set up 6 years after, because they were also replying to the infected as demons. So like the term they use now and like 20 years after the thing was all like infected clickers, all that. Yeah. So I think demons, a lot of people were just saying, "Oh, this happened because you guys."
Well, then
Christian
that
groups
wouldn't
probably,
really fit into
or just religious groups in general.
That wouldn't really fit into the Firefly way of.
They started
thinking.
early on.
I know, but
I'm saying it was
like,
a different group, not the Fireflies, a different like.
But I'm thinking that they were like maybe the start of the Fireflies or the Fireflies themselves, the ladies or that lady who was about to cut up.
It could be, but like if the apocalypse were to happen, there'd be a bunch of different groups.
Yeah, true. I
think because like Clipper Wings, they probably were at war with the Fireflies, and eventually lost that war by the time the first game came out. So.
Yeah, that makes more sense too, because Ellie's mom was a Firefly, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So it was warranted.
Jacob,
I got a hammer in the closet.
I'm about to clip your wings. But yeah,
that was not a soda can. That was my neck being snapped.
Yeah, he still talks only on Tech Peasants Podcast, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
So that was Paris Games Week.
Just because I'm a tech peasant doesn't mean I'm a medical peasant as well.
You're a peasant.
You're a dick. You know that? Peasant.
A peasant.
Well, isn't that pleasant? A pleasant pheasant. That's a peasant.
No.
Shut
All right,
the fuck
moving on.
up. All right, that was the Paris Games Week conference.
Laugh at me. Validate me.
Much better than E3.
Validate me.
It was really good.
Okay.
So they redeemed themselves for the E3 bullshit. Now I don't think PSX will be as good though, because I feel like a lot of stuff got moved up to this just to redeem themselves from E3.
Sony even said, "Don't get your hopes up for PSX.
Yeah.
Don't get your
it's
wheels
gonna be
up."
some indie shit, so I have low expectations for that. But yeah, that was the Paris Games Week conference. So on to some Nintendo news real quick. Super Mario Odyssey has sold 2 million copies in 3 days.
Yes.
I want to play that so bad.
It sold 1.1 million copies in 2 days in the U.S.
I'm kind of annoyed at Jonathan. I'm a little teed off at Jonathan because yesterday he shared a really interesting video. I'm just like, fuck, why would you spoil something so cool that they added? I'm like,
it's not. Well,
it's
I didn't
Mario.
really see it as a spoiler.
It's fucking Mario.
Yeah, but it was a nice little homage that I liked that I didn't.
Like,
I
don't think
I would
it's
have
a
preferred to
spoiler.
have been surprised by that, personally.
Okay, well,
I don't give a shit what it is.
yeah,
So
okay.
spoiler warning if you actually care about Mario's story.
If you think it's a spoiler, then spoiler warning. But I don't really think so. Basically, it's just a Super Mario 64 area in Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
So like you can get the player model, you can turn him into the Super Mario 64 model with like the blocky and whatnot.
Even Cappy turns blocky.
Yes. And you walk into a room and it's just the courtyard in the back of the castle with the L is real fountain.
Yeah, and the 2D ass trees.
Yeah. But that's basically it.
Yeah, it's I personally I would definitely count that as a spoiler to me, because I like to be surprised by simple stuff like that.
Well, you know what? I actually will say I can see that, because there was I was watching one of BG's videos and he doesn't care about spoilers at all. So I clicked on one of his Uncharted videos for Lost Legacy. The video starts. I'm like, well, that's a cool ass thing to add into this game. Wish I didn't fucking see it on the video first.
Yeah, like one thing that really pissed me
off.
Not
a spoiler for story, but just I'm like, oh, that's cool. Nice reference there. Now it's spoiled that for me in the game, but yeah.
Yeah, like for example, I was watching a Let's Play of Final Fantasy IV, and this was like 2 weeks after Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon had come out, and in the middle of this unrelated Let's Play, they spoil an element of the end to Luigi's Mansion. Of course, you already know that Luigi's going to save Mario. That's a given. But they spoiled that Mario and Luigi actually have like a coherent conversation. It's not done through text. Like they actually speak to each other.
Oh.
It's
what?
like they have an actual conversation. I'm just like, fuck, no, you spoiled that.
I didn't even know that.
Oh, well, fuck, I spoiled that.
That game's old as fuck.
Yeah, it is old as fuck. You had your chance.
Okay, let's talk about that real quick. Now, if a game has been out for a certain amount of time, do you think it's fair to just mention spoilers out in the open?
It's not a spoiler at that point.
Yeah, it's not really.
But
it was like 2 weeks after. It was like,
in that case,
pissed me
them.
off because I didn't finish that. I was just like, I was so angry. That's like the only Super Game Brothers video I disliked.
It's funny you bring that up too, because I was listening to the radio one day, and they were talking about like the official spoiler rules and whatnot, and obviously after a certain period of time, like
it's the person's fault for not seeing it.
Yeah, something like that, like a week or 2 weeks, it's no longer a spoiler. You can say it if you want.
I'll give someone up to a year. If they haven't, like, you almost got close to Uncharted 4 as spoiler.
I don't if I don't want to know it, I just don't look up anything about it. I'm really good when it comes to avoiding spoilers. But if it happens, then it happens to me. Like, I mean...
Luckily, you play everything now. You have a PS4, so it won't happen, but yeah.
Yeah, I avoided spoilers for, almost a year.
Yeah. When did you get your PS4? Like...
was it last month?
Last month, yeah. That's over a year, because Uncharted 4 came out in, I think it was May 2016.
Wait. No, it was the month before that.
So September. Okay.
Yeah, whatever, something like that.
Over a year, because Uncharted 4 was, I think that was May 2016.
Yeah.
God, May 10th. Yep, I remember that.
But yeah, I don't look for anything that would spoil it.
But okay.
Yeah, but about that Luigi and Mario thing, it's like, I sort of like played that up as like to have a conversation. It was like a short little 4-line sort of thing. It's like, thank you so much, bro. You saved me. I did. Yes, you're the best. You're number one. Oh, thank you, Mario. It was like literally that. But
that's
it was
still cool.
It was like holy shit. We for the first time ever have heard them talk. For the first time ever have seen Mario's nipples.
Exactly, that's true. And
I kind of wish they didn't spoil that in their trailers.
God damn
I would have
it,
liked
man.
to have been. I would like to have been surprised by those pepperoni nips. Thanks.
God damn it!
Of course, you, Jacob.
All right, next topic.
What do you mean by that? Of course, you.
Of course, you.
Because fucker, you liked looking at freaking shirtless Link
and the fish husband.
So
don't forget bird husband.
God damn it!
Oh my god!
Next topic.
All right. This is turning into furry peasants.
Furry peasants. Fuck you, all right?
So we got some Nintendo Switch fuckery going on right here. L.A. Noir cannot fit on the base Switch.
Noir.
It cannot fit on the base Switch. You need at least 14 gigs for that game.
God.
So you gotta get an SD card.
I knew that game was huge, like even on PS3 and
Wait,
Xbox.
it's just 14 gigs?
Yeah, but the Switch's size.
What's the
on
resolution?
The Switch, I believe it's 900p docked, 120p portable. I believe it might be 1080p docked.
I felt like the game was bigger than that.
Well, it's been scaled down for Switch.
The sheer amount of dialogue and scripted events and all of the facial animations. I'm surprised it's 14 gigabytes. I would have expected 30.
I think
that's compressed it down a lot.
Compression and optimization
for the Switch. Yeah. But still, you can't download
probably
on the
using
base
those
Switch.
good FLACs.
Probably is it on PC?
Yeah.
It's probably a lot more on PC.
It's like the I know they said this was the last gen
20.
port of I think this is the 360 port that they're putting on.
Yeah, it'd have to be
Switch.
the 360 port, honestly.
And then,
but hey, portable LA Noire, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
LA Noire is a good game. It falls apart at the fourth act, but it's a good game.
I still haven't played it. I would have loved to.
Like, you're gonna love it right up until Arson.
I'll take your word on that.
I would definitely suggest LA Noire.
I'll have to get it on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
But so get an SD card if you want to download it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's that. More Nintendo fuckery.
I mean, getting an external SD card, you were gonna do it anyway. I mean, if you own a Switch, you were gonna get an SD card anyway.
Yeah, so, it's just that's still finding bullshit though that you can't download at least. There's one game that you can't download even if you have nothing else on the system.
At least like 20 gigs of
yeah.
Wait, I thought the Switch was 32 gigabytes. How can I not handle 14?
Don't they have to? Think they set aside space for certain things like the OS?
Probably, but I don't know if it'd take up that much.
No, it wouldn't take up. It wouldn't take up like 15 gigabytes.
I'll have to look and see how much free space you actually have.
I don't know, but like, for instance, something like the Wii, I only used the storage that came with the Wii. I didn't really use an SD card. If I use an SD card, it was for like transferring files or something. And the dog.
And I hear Lucky. But I'll look that up. I'm looking it up now. We'll come back to that one.
Okay.
Next topic though, Super Mario Run has been downloaded over 200 million times.
I actually paid for it on their sale. I actually ponied up the $5 to buy it.
It's actually a pretty fun game.
It is. It's a very decent phone game.
Yeah.
Well, don't get
it
used
looks
to
fantastic on my phone.
Don't get used to it because Nintendo is not amused with the profits that have been amounts from it, saying that it's not acceptable.
They're not acceptable. This goes with their greedy ass, money hungry personality of Nintendo.
Well, I mean, did they really expect to like platinum seller a phone game? I mean, for God's sakes, they showed it off at an Apple event. Who the fuck cares about an Apple event?
I have not watched one Apple conference ever in my life.
Me either. I
watched one, and that was only the part that pertained to Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
Up to Mario Run, excuse me.
I don't understand why Nintendo has to be so greedy and all they want is money, you know? It's just...
Well, what are they doing? Because they're not amused.
I don't know. They haven't said yet. I think they're still going to do like the Fire Emblem one, but they're probably not going to focus on this as much as they would have. God. So, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, really to be fair, the Switch Mario Odyssey is the fastest selling Mario ever.
You should probably go check on your Doge.
I will in a sec. But yeah, but Mario Odyssey is the fastest selling Mario on a new platform. So they're probably saying, why the fuck are we moving away from our own platforms? Which is why I don't want to fucking happen. I want them to go third party, but you fucking fanboys won't do it. Fuck you.
I'd buy Nintendo games on Steam.
That'd be great.
Dude.
That'd be the coolest thing. Like, I know you have emulators, obviously. But having an optimized port of Mario Galaxy or Mario Sunshine on Steam.
I mean, hell, if I have to buy a special dongle, fuck it. I'll buy the dongle so I can play it on Steam.
I'd do it too.
I'll buy your special $20 ass broken ass sensor bar dongle that you plug into the USB in order to play Galaxy.
I would do that. Whatever they have to do to go third party, do it.
They could design an actual fucking controller for once.
Or they could do that, yeah. That would work. Because right now,
we got those tiny tic-tac ass Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Which, admittedly, the technology's cool, but I mean...
they're too small.
They're itty-bitty tiny.
They could also just make some good specs for their console.
They could also not charge $80 for their Pro controllers.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid.
Again, money hungry.
Like Nintendo, I don't have a problem buying a PlayStation because the specs are adequate enough to give me good visuals and good experiences. The Switch is dog shit.
Yeah.
You guys make your stuff look like a cartoon.
The dock is dog shit. Dock shit.
Yeah.
I hate the dock so much. I will forever just flagellate away at that dock. I hate it so much. And they charge $80 for the damn thing.
And it's 90%.
Or no,
plastic.
It's $90. Excuse me. $90 for a tiny circuit board with the USB Type-C with a very specific allocation and a plastic dock. A plastic
cheap plastic.
Cheap plastic that scratches the screen. I actually got into an argument with someone at the college because they were like, I like the dock. It's like, dude, it scratches the fucking screen. I don't care. It's my product. Do you really?
Let me at this piece of shit.
You really want? If you can avoid scratching your goddamn screen, why would you not
that
take
is
that
a
option?
fanboy
That's
if
what-
I've
no, that-
ever
that's
heard.
I mean, you could
That's what you call a-
shove paper towels into the goddamn thing.
Yeah.
If you have to.
That's what you
Protect
call a-
that screen.
That's what you call a corporate slave.
That is
where
a
you're gonna
corporate
damage
slave.
control an actual fucking
God.
problem with the product.
I don't
Saying,
care if it scratches. They meant for it to happen.
That's
means
a corporate
that's-
slave.
That's meant to happen on the Switch. You know, like let me at this piece of shit.
And to be, you know what's funny? If another
product
product had that problem, he'd call it out. He's probably blinded
Well,
by
it's
Nintendo
like-
nostalgia.
It's like
most of them.
It's like everyone at the table was just like, dude, what the fuck? You've got to be kidding me.
That's like you can choose between a very powerful computer or a very weak computer, and you go for the weak
Oh, the
computer
weak- but the
because
weak
it's
one
made
has-
by Nintendo.
It's got the Nintendo logo on it, so I
Yeah,
get the,
so it's like I'll
fucking
take
hell.
that.
Fuck
God, that is
I hate corporate
corporate. I
slaves.
do too. I really do
for
too.
all platforms.
There's no logic in it.
They fuck it up for the rest
Like
of us.
he wasn't actually being a corporate slave at all. It's like he was just being retarded.
AKA
but
a corporate
No,
slave.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like he's not a corporate slave to
I don't think he
He's not a
knows.
corporate slave to Nintendo. It's just that he's just like, oh, I don't care if the screen scratches. Just like, are you an idiot?
That's the thing. Like, if you don't
It's like-
find the actual problem, and you actual problem, I don't
God.
care. That's corporate slavery. Like,
Oh man,
God.
I can't. I just can't.
I couldn't. I was just like, I'm done talking to
I
you.
will get up and leave.
Dude, PSN went down for 2 weeks. Son, why aren't you upset? I don't care.
Oh, I don't care.
I was mad as
PlayStation
fuck when
is
PSN
the
went
only
down.
station. Oh my
I was
god.
mad as fuck. I
Well-
gotta be playing these single player games right now.
How dare you make me play the games that I can or that are only single player?
Alright, well yeah, so that's that. Okay, that was enough for us on Nintendo. Back to normal topics. Insomniac Games is looking for a publisher to pick up a Sunset Overdrive sequel. So Microsoft, I don't blame them for not picking up a sequel because the Xbox fans did not support that game at all. I think
Why?
it barely sold over 1 million.
It's because
Well,
Xbox fans don't care about
wasn't a
fun
F- it wasn't a-
platformers. They only care about their shooters.
It wasn't an FPS or a racing game, so it didn't sell.
There ain't shit on Xbox to begin with.
I'm surprised Super Lucky's Tale is designated
That
purely
game's
to the
gonna flop.
Xbox.
That
I was
game's
like,
gonna flop hard
I'm
as
just
hell.
like, why? Like, how?
What game is this?
Super
Super Lucky's Tale. That really the really cutesy platformer game that I mistook for Conquer at first.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
the
yeah. I
squirrel?
remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Microsoft, what happened with that? Microsoft paid them. They were like, okay, we'll take this exclusive, and the company got a shit ton of cash. They were like, okay, cool. They probably know it's gonna flop because they know Xbox fans aren't gonna buy that. I know one person hyped for that game, and it's probably because I'll be the only one he can actually beat. But it didn't same with Cuphead. Cuphead sold the least on Xbox
Yeah.
and the least on the Windows Store. The majority of that game's
It was
profits
on
came from Steam.
Yep.
But Microsoft paid a shit ton of cash to help them finish the game. I'm like, Microsoft, your fan base doesn't want this shit.
It's like
They're
well,
just-
the thing with that with Cuphead is that it's like Cuphead is not actually bound to Xbox. It's like Microsoft gave them money because they wanted to see the game made, but they didn't say you could only release this on Xbox and PC.
Yeah.
They just said we just want to see this game made. You can release it anywhere. But they don't have any interest.
Well,
the developers don't have any
yeah.
interest in releasing it on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
They just don't care. So
Yeah.
that's like
They're saying
Cuphead
that-
is like the fault of the developer in that regard.
Yeah, they're saying that, but I don't know. Because like
I kind of feel like Sony has a little hand in that.
yeah, because like well, imagine playing it on your PlayStation and seeing Microsoft in the credits.
That's true.
So I think
That's true.
Sony or Microsoft do not want that game on the
If that's
PS4.
the reason, then that's some pansy shit right there.
Sony's on that cocky shit though, because I mean they're not collaborating with the Minecraft thing, so it probably is
Yeah,
Sony.
yeah, that's true. They don't
They
like
probably went to Sony saying we could, and they're like, we don't care.
God. And keep in mind,
Who knew Sony was such stuck-up little bitches?
Oh,
yeah,
you should have
they're
seen
the
them last
people
gen.
that don't support or cross-platform multiplayer.
It's like even Nintendo's on board with this shit.
I
They're
think-
just like
I
together
think that's-
forever, sure.
I think that's why Sony doesn't want Minecraft on PS4, or is it on
It's
PS4?
already on PS4.
Okay, well
They don't want the crossplay.
Yeah, they don't
No,
want.
here's what it is: whoever wins turns into a bitch for that whole generation.
Yep.
Microsoft was a cunt last gen. Sony's being a cunt this gen. It's whoever wins. Whoever gets first place, they turn into a cunt for the whole generation.
Yep.
Because last gen, Sony was trying to make up
Nintendo
for
must think they're
reveal.
winners all the time.
What fucks me up about this though is that I can semi understand I'll play devil's advocate for a little bit. I can understand the Minecraft thing with Sony because you technically, in order to connect, have to create an Xbox Live account.
True.
So you have to log
true.
into your Xbox Live account in order to play crossplay on your PlayStation 4. I can understand Sony being antsy at that. But if your only reason for not, like, if the developers of Cuphead want to make, they want to release Cuphead on PS4 and Sony's like, no. And the only reason is because you'll see Phil Spencer and Microsoft Corporation in the credits. That's petty. That's petty, and that's pansy, and that's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna play devil's advocate. I can actually understand why, because for a game like Cuphead, it being very successful, people would look in the credits and see, oh, this is a Microsoft game, or it has something to do with Microsoft, and that would tip them off. Maybe there's more good games on Xbox.
So they might see this free
something.
Advertising.
Yeah, something like that.
But to be fair, only a
Microsoft
handful of people are going to read the whole credits.
Microsoft isn't really like on that shit though.
No,
like
they
Sony's
don't.
the only one that does that because
Sony's cocky as
like,
fuck this
it's
year.
like in the rare replay, Nintendo's credited in the credits.
Yeah.
It's like in multiple places, like in every single game, they're just like originally released on Nintendo console, originally released on Nintendo 64, originally released here, originally released there, architecture here, architecture there. It's like Nintendo's plastered everywhere in the credits and the rare replay. It's like Microsoft's just like, yeah, these are Nintendo games. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Why is Sony like this? If
Cocky
this is
as
the
shit.
case with them,
This is what happens when they're winning the generation. I slightly hate it. That's why the PS3 had the biggest comeback of all gaming, because they started out cocky as fuck announcing it. Oh, it's $600. Just work extra job shifts so you can afford it.
Yeah.
They actually fucking said that on stage.
Oh.
I'm like, what the fuck?
No.
So yeah, cocky as hell.
oh, do not
They're-
berate your customers like that.
They're
Holy
too
shit.
proprietary with their shit. Like they're turning into Nintendo in that regard.
Yeah.
Like they want everything to be by Sony / PlayStation. It's
That's why
I hate that shit.
That's why
Did you know that they made a Vita Go? Like
You mean PSP Go?
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah.
The PSP Go, yeah.
Yep.
That
It's
was
the silliest thing I've ever heard of.
Download
it
only.
doesn't even take the USB
Download only.
discs.
Yep. Dumb
It's-
as hell.
Yep.
But yeah, like I don't think PS4 is getting PUBG either, because Microsoft helped pay for that game. So we'll see. It might, but I don't think they're getting PUBG because of that.
Oh, silly Sony.
It's this kind of shit that puts the gaming industry back.
Yeah.
It's good to have a little competition between companies. You don't want a monopoly, but when you're being too conservative about your properties, it takes shit back.
Yeah. I still stand by my statement. Fuck consoles.
I agree.
Put everything on. If consoles want to exist, fine, but let every game be on PC. Because
I
fuck
agree.
consoles.
Like as much as I've played on them in my life,
The memories are there. I'll always treasure them. But it's
yeah.
2017. We have standards. These consoles cannot fit those standards. AKA, fuck these consoles.
I do not
Agreed.
understand.
Honestly,
Unless they can make a box that can at least guarantee 1080p 60 for every game, fuck these consoles.
Jacob from a year ago would disagree, but I've grown, so I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sick and tired of all the BS.
PC is shown to be
Paying for online for every fucking platform now.
Mm-hmm.
That still fucks
We've
me
got
up.
to support the service.
Even Nintendo. Like, god
Steam,
damn.
I don't think Steam will ever go down that
PC
path.
gamers will
Hopefully they
revolt.
don't.
I hope not.
PC gamers actually fight back when companies do bullshit.
That's true. Well, and not to
Remember
mention,
games for Windows Live?
It's not just. Oh yeah.
I don't actually.
Yeah, Microsoft tried to charge for PC
Yep.
playing online.
Oh,
The
no.
PC gamers were like, fuck that shit. So it flops. That's ended. That's over.
See,
Lasted like a year.
Holy
and
shit.
and that's the thing. There are actually pretty good alternatives to Steam out there.
Yeah,
so
Green Man Gaming,
Yo-Yo or not Yo-Yo, Galaxy of games.
Dog,
yeah. There's also good old games.
Yeah, those are good alternatives. So if Steam ever does something that we all do not like and they flop, in the unlikely event, I would hope, we can transition to there.
Yeah, even Battle.net. Like, I don't like the people on Battle.net, but the service itself is really good.
Yeah. But I agree. PC is the best platform. I don't see why anyone.
That being said, though, I hope Sony picks up Sunset Overdrive too, because that way I'd be able to play the first one without having to get an Xbox, and it could potentially it'll sell more on PS4 for sure.
Sunset Overdrive was an Xbox.
That was an Xbox One exclusive.
They're only exclusive. Excuse me.
That and Halo 5. Yeah.
God.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Is that seriously their only like console exclusives?
There might be a few more, but as far as I can think of in the last few years, Sunset Overdrive is the only one that's only on Xbox One, along with Halo 5, the campaign, because the multiplayer is on PC. So Halo 5 campaign is exclusive to Xbox One as well. I'll have to bring up a list.
Like I hate to make a big deal out of exclusives because I don't give a shit personally, but I'm making a big deal about it because Microsoft makes a big deal about it. They want to shove exclusive in every single game that they show in their conferences and whatnot.
It'll be like
it's not exclusive when it's on console and PC.
Yeah, they'll be like Windows 10 exclusive. I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Like, I don't fucking give a shit about exclusives.
Windows 10
Get your
exclusive.
dick out of there. Like, come on.
People Xbox fans were like, I can't wait to play some of the X.
We've got to have our exclusives.
Yeah, that's a console.
And people are like, you PlayStation dudes are getting this. I'm like, yeah, but I'll get it on PC. The better experience than you peasants.
That is a console fanboy argument.
Cuphead.
Exclusives.
A lot of Xbox gamers just didn't even bother playing that because they're like, oh, you can play it on Steam. And that's what pisses me off. Xbox gamers will dismiss games. The Xbox gamers will dismiss games if it's not exclusive. Quantum Break, when they found out that was going to be on Steam and on PC, there were dudes upset at Phil Spencer and Microsoft. I'm like, you corporate
that's corporate slaves.
Yeah, the same pattern can be seen with Ori and the Blind Forest. Sold better on PC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because Xbox gamers aren't playing that.
It's so unfortunate.
It's not a racer or a shooter. It's not going to do well.
Xbox gamers, you have a whole world of beautiful platforming games.
Bump that, bro. I want my guns.
No, like they have.
Yeah, but Cuphead has finger guns.
No, I want the realistic graphics, the grit, the dirt, the brown tinge of the whole camera.
I hate when people are like that.
I'm gonna have a very subtle vignette.
Like specifically gamers in this case, like. They only delegate themselves to one type of game. Yeah. I hate that. Yeah, because there are so many games out there that you can play.
Yeah, the only genre I have
too many games.
There are too many.
The only genre I won't try is like RTS.
I don't. Yeah, I don't like RTS.
That'll put me to sleep.
I've dipped my feet into RTS several times, and the only one that really stuck with me was StarCraft, and that was only because of the novelty.
I do want to try StarCraft for the culture.
But Pikmin was also just novelty again.
RT sleep. That's what it is to me. I just
real-time sleep.
For real.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's my 2 cents on that.
And speaking of Microsoft, the Kinect has officially been discontinued.
Thank God.
What a surprise.
The Kinect, one of the things that single-handedly almost ended the Xbox One before it even came out.
Yeah.
At one point in time, one of the highest-selling consumer devices in history.
It's like funny. My professor actually brought that up because back when he would game, he was the big Xbox guy. Whoa. And he just really loved Microsoft, and he was just like, "Did you hear that they killed the Kinect?" And I'm just like, "Thank God."
Yeah, it was.
I didn't say it, of course, but it was just like, "Thank fucking God."
It was a faulty.
That was terrible for gaming. It had great applications elsewhere. But it was terrible for gaming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a faulty apparatus, honestly.
I mean, the Xbox One S and X don't even have a Kinect port. You gotta get an adapter. So use Kinect on the system.
They know it sucks.
And now you gotta pay for it.
They wanted to have a PlayStation Eye
Yeah.
But
to be fair, the Kinect was way better than the fucking Eye. And it was
really.
Yeah, the Kinect could
I guess it was because of the
PlayStation Eye.
Because the Kinect is used in like hospitals and crap. It can like find your heartbeat and stuff.
Really?
It can scan. That thing is infinitely more advanced than the Eye.
Yeah.
It's a great device, but it should not have been wasted on gaming.
Because I remember seeing all the game plays with Kinect, even on the 360. Actually, believe it or not, I didn't.
No, it didn't work at all.
On a lot of
the times I've played it actually worked for me.
I think the coolest application that I saw of the Kinect was that it was like a haunted house. And they had a statue that was an animatronic statue, and whenever someone would approach, the Kinect was there to sense it, and it would snap its head towards you, and it would directly reference you and point at you, and it was using Kinect technology to detect someone there, look at them, acknowledge them, and beckon them in. And it was, of course, a haunted house. It was like this demon ghoul underworld sort of hell thing. But that was probably the coolest application of the Kinect that I saw. Not a video game.
I noticed the one weird thing though now, because the Switch doesn't support the Wiimote, does it?
I don't think so.
Okay, so I was thinking about this. Back in 2010, the whole motion control wars with the Wii, the Move, and the Kinect. Move. The Move's the only one still being used on the modern day console because you use it for VR now.
Yeah,
and the Move was the one that was the least successful at its time of launch.
But that's because they didn't really have a good application for it when they launched it. But now they have a good application. Now they're 6 years later.
Yeah, but
the Move was ahead of its time.
The Move was and is still very responsive.
Yeah, it was ahead of its time. They didn't have enough stuff to show it off truly till now.
I have the Move on PS3, and whenever I used to play the crappy games that they had for it, it was the motion controls were very responsive. It was like it was way. I was used to the Wii's motion controls, and it was much different and more accurate.
It could track in 3D and all that.
Oh, wait, exactly. Are you talking about just the default Wii Motion, or are you talking about Wii Motion Plus?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the Move, that tracker in the Eye, it could be way more precise. It tracked in 3D.
It's better than Wii Motion Plus.
Yeah, I thought the Wii Motion Plus was pretty darn good. I don't remember much of the Move.
Yeah.
The only time I really tried the Move was like that weird archery game that you had on PlayStation 3.
Sports Champions. I still have that game. No one will take it.
No one will take it.
GameStop was like, nothing's coming up for this game. I'm like, damn.
Gosh.
Oh, that's sad and funny at the same time.
The game actually had a sequel on PS3.
That's sad and funny at the same time.
Yeah, the Move, ahead of its time.
And no one wanted to play Move games.
Yep. There weren't that many, to be honest.
Yeah.
They had one game that looked cool called Sorcery. It took it like 3 years to come out.
That was that one like Harry Potter.
Yeah, you like used it as a wand. Yeah. You could do like spells with doing all this.
That sounds fucking awesome.
It took them 3 years to release the fucking game. When it came out, the Move was already dead. Nothing could save it. If that came out with the fucking Move, it probably would have sold way more.
Yeah,
because that was the coolest one. Like, this potion, do this to drink it.
We watched that E3 conference. That they showed that.
That's still a cool technical because here's a potion. Do like this to drink it. I'm like, that's cool. That's innovative, might I add. So
I like it.
They should have had it out with the actual Move.
One game that I would really love to see with motion controls like that is, it's a little game that I play on the PC called Inverbis Virtus.
Oh yeah,
it's that spell casting game that you it's microphones required, and you have to actually audibly say the spell while holding down the mouse while holding down the left click to actually cast your spell. So like, in order to like bring lights to your hand, you would hold down the mouse button and you say Lumetial, and that would, then you let go of the mouse button, you'd like cast the spell. It was super cool. I'd like to see that with motion controls.
That would be pretty cool. And I'm surprised at how responsive that game is with with different voices, you know, and different people.
It gets a little clusterfucky when you get like upwards of like 10 spells and you're in a battle, and sometimes it doesn't detect it, so you're just like trying to repeat the spell over and over and over again, trying to get it right, and then you realize, shit, you're casting the wrong spell.
Yeah.
Does the audio on the sound mixer come through the thing there? Or?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It's recording through the task cam.
I'm just so used to like the seeing that move.
Oh yeah, no. I guess we can just talk about that. Tech Peasants Podcast has a little audio upgrade. Instead of recording through instead of recording through Audition through the mixer directly onto the computer, I have a task cam, so I don't have to have my PC clustered right next to me, next to the mixer and all that. It's a mess. So now I just have a little task cam sitting on my lap. Nice. It's recording all the levels. Now we're constantly hitting -12. We're good.
Nice. All right.
We get that good audio.
So next topic, PUBG is finally getting given a release date for the Xbox One. It'll come out on December 12th. And if you buy it physical, I think it just comes with a code inside to download it.
Oh,
because
there's like that one disc
like with fucking Destiny. Talk about that real quick. So I got Destiny 2 on PC. And first of all, United States Postal Service, suck my dick. Because you lost my fucking first package.
Oh my Jesus.
Lost my first package. So Amazon sent a replacement when it found it was like lost in transit. So I had to get the game on the 27th. I think I got it. I get the game. It comes in an actual physical case, about the size of a PS2 case. I open it up. There's a fucking paper disc inside with the code on it.
Yeah,
like a card stock ass disc.
And keep in mind, he ordered the code.
Yeah, I ordered the code. And Amazon, can you just email me the fucking code?
Yeah, just do that.
When I pre-order a PC game.
Because yeah, they mailed him. They wasted resources, polluted the planet with whatever, just to bring him a plastic case with a paper disc.
Yeah, with like a 20-digit code.
Yep.
Like really.
You know how fucking much of waste of resource that is? Like
much of waste.
Versus like
I couldn't speak.
No,
versus like the 8 watts it would take to just send me a fucking email.
8 watts? 8 watts? Really? That much?
Maybe, just because I don't know where the code's coming from.
Okay. Thailand.
Yes. But yeah, that's stupid.
So PUBG's doing the same thing for Xbox One. And it'll still say, I think, early access on the case. The game is scheduled to come out of early access later this year. If it actually does, that remains to be seen. But they've been pretty good with the updates and consistent. I actually hopped back on it a few days ago just for play a match real quick.
You monster.
Got to like 16 and someone fucking shot me in the back. Couldn't see from where. I'm like, fuck. Was doing so good, had good gear. But that's the game.
Absolutely disgusting.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. This is a real battle royale.
Oh wait, I thought you were talking about Destiny 2.
No, I didn't talk about that.
Oh,
I'm talking about PUBG. You want cultured swine?
Okay, never mind. I thought we were talking about Destiny.
I'll talk about that later.
Wait, wasn't that the paper disc the Destiny 2?
Yeah, I was saying PUBG's going to do the same thing for the Xbox One version.
Yeah,
that's weird.
Yeah, because I guess they don't want to put it on the disc yet because the final game might change too much for a patch.
Okay.
But,
I thought we were talking about Destiny 2, sorry.
I'll talk about Destiny 2 later.
PUBG isn't disgusting.
Pug.
I'll talk about Destiny 2 a little later. But so we got some sad news, unfortunately. Housemarque Games, which made Resogun, Nex Machina, Matterfall, all that, they are no longer going to be making arcade games because they're just not making enough sales with the games. Like, Resogun was given away for free for the first month on PSN if you had Plus. That was like the first PS4 game I played. One of the best PS4 games, but it was free for Plus for so long it didn't really make much of a profit.
Yeah.
Then there was Alienation. I forgot about that one. That one I know didn't sell that well because a lot of people just didn't want it. It was like a twin-stick shooter running at 30 frames, and it looked cool, but it didn't have enough to keep people interested, so didn't sell that much. I liked it. I like all their games so far. Then they did Nex Machina. This was a huge release because it was put out on PS4 and PC.
Steam. Yep.
So I've got it on Steam. I took part in the demo or the alpha or beta, whatever it was, on Steam. Gave them feedback directly to them on the Discord channel. That's how I got introduced to Discord.
Huh.
And I'm like, cool. I bought the game, played it. hard as fuck. That game was harder than Cuphead, if I'm gonna be honest with you.
Damn.
That game is harder than Cuphead.
Okay, then that really must be hard.
I said because I at least beat Cuphead. I have not truly beat Next Machina yet.
God.
So yeah,
it's the Dark Souls of Cuphead.
It's the Cuphead of Cuphead.
It's the Cuphead of arcade shooters.
So yeah, and Next Machina is a damn good game. I recommend it highly.
Souls.
I recommend it highly. But even on Steam, even on PS4, when it got a lot of marketing for Next Machina.
Yeah, it
didn't sell enough. So they're gonna work on a new type of game. Don't know what it'll be yet. I mean, it's sad though because Next Machina was so good. Resogun was so good, but those games didn't sell. So they said, like, I guess we guess
what the fuck?
So it's like they said, we guess arcade is dead for now. So they'll maybe in the future, when if there's enough demand, in the future.
But and that is a sad thing.
Yeah,
that is
and their new game,
sad.
Matterfall, just came out, and that I know that didn't sell well because the leaderboards show like I ranked like 800. I'm like, oh, this did not sell well.
Yeah,
and I did terrible for my run. I'm like, damn. So yeah. Shame. Hopefully their next game sells. I want them to stay around. I want Sony to pick them up, to be honest.
Yeah,
because I'm worried about them going out of business if their next game doesn't do well.
Speaking of leaderboards, speaking of leaderboards, I started playing Tai 2, the PC port of it, and I decided for shits and giggles to look on the leaderboard, and I saw it was like without like 5 minutes into the game, I was like in 600th place on the leaderboard. I'm just like, Tai 2 isn't selling too well, is it?
Yeah, I think it'll sell better when final release.
Yeah,
because Tai 2 is when people keep bitching at them about like, go put Tai 2 on here, put Tai 2. That one should sell 1 million when it comes out in the final release. Because that's the one people keep asking for.
I want Tai 3 and Tai 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm waiting until the final release to play Tai, but yeah, I hope.
Yeah, it's great in its current release right now.
Now Tai 3, I don't think it's going to sell well.
Yeah, that's because Activision.
Yeah, I don't think I was going to sell that well. But anyway, next topic: you can now buy gift cards from Steam directly. So if you want to gift your friends just a gift card on Steam, you can do that now.
So like a virtual gift card.
Yeah, like on Steam.
That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Finally did that. So now like just what game do you want? I don't know. Well, here's $20 code.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a great update. Yeah.
That way you don't have to go.
Hey
out
Sony,
to
you want to start doing some shit like that too?
Yeah.
Even Xbox does
that.
Cocky assholes.
Nah. Suck our dick.
And then Injustice 2 is finally coming to PC.
That's just an Injustice.
There's going to be a beta later this year.
Wait, I thought it was
on... Nope. They had no word about on PC when it came out on console.
I thought... I had the idea that it was already on...
The first one is, but
Steam.
not the second one.
Okay.
So they announced that there'll be a beta later this year, and they've added Hellboy into the game. Don't know why they added the Dark Horse character into the DC game. But
weird.
Yeah. Hellboy.
That's bizarre.
I'm like, what the
fuck?
I
haven't kept up with the Injustice 2 comics in a while, so I don't know.
That's probably just a collaboration, because they added Spawn in there and shit, so...
Well, that's weird, because that means that they'd have to add or do some nod to Hellboy in the Injustice comics, because the game and the comics are the same thing.
I think they're just adding in characters just because they can, because Sub-Zero, Scorpion was in the first one. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing in here? Now, it was the same studio that makes Mortal Kombat, but still, I'm like,
I don't give a shit.
So,
well, okay, I will say that's more acceptable because DC is now like they kind of have the rights to Mortal Kombat because they have their own like, I don't know if they have the rights to it, but I'm just assuming because they have their own comic book series now, the Mortal Kombat stuff. So, I mean, that makes a little more sense, but Hellboy doesn't make sense at all to me.
So whatever. Yeah, that's that. NVIDIA finessed me, and they announced a 1070 Ti. I have no idea. It's like the equivalent of them making like a PS4 Pro.
Yeah,
what they just fucking did. I don't think there's ever been a 70 Ti. Well, actually, there was the was it 870 or 750? There was a Ti that wasn't for the 80 before. I forget what it was.
But
I think it was 750 Ti.
They're going a little too crazy with TIs now. Like just
it's because
it's time
sells.
to stop.
It's a buzzword that sells.
Yeah.
It's just like
I
NVIDIA.
think I figured out where the electrical
damn it.
I think I figured out where the electrical interference is coming from in this room. Right. That fucking lamp. Because I keep turning my head. It keeps getting intense and lessening.
Actually, you know what it is?
I think it's that fucking lamp.
There's a shit ton of plugs behind this stand that have that and that adapter, and then more into them. So it's probably.
I still blame the fucking lamp.
I'm gonna turn it off.
Jacob just hates that lamp.
The lamp is crying right now.
No, there's there's high pitch electrical interference. It's bothering the shit out of me. It's been bothering me for the past hour. Speaking of, we've broken an hour. Yay.
All right, and we're almost done. So 1070 Ti. I'm not even gonna go over the specs. It's a finesse.
It's you just get the next level card.
80. Get the 70 or the 80. The 70 if you want more performance, overclock it.
I really don't understand.
Fuck you, NVIDIA.
Yeah, they need to stop.
When you said performance, I heard porn mints.
I mean,
I heard porn mints.
How good can the cart render 4K porn in 60 frames?
Yes.
4K porn in 60 frames? I don't care if it's straight. Sign me up.
I'm in.
I don't give a fuck.
So that was that. And I guess now I'll talk about my experiences with Destiny 2 on PC so far.
Damn it.
So I want to start.
Go ahead.
So I want to start this out by saying I paid $8 for this game due to some gift cards through the trade-in program on Amazon. So $8. That's why I got the physical edition. So I guess that was them saying, "Oh, you paid $8? Fuck you. We're gonna send your copy late." So that might be why I got it late. But games so far, as far as PC games go, it's to all the standards. It's optimized. It has a lot of settings. It runs great. It looks great.
It utilizes the multi-core
it has
stuff, right?
Support for like all kinds of core counts.
That's good.
So that's good. My 1070, I am currently maxing it out and getting a little over 60 frames with my 1070.
Wow. Okay.
And I actually have the resolution scaled at 120 because the anti-aliasing settings aren't that good. Like there's no way to get it completely jaggyless like most games.
Yeah.
But still, just turn the rendering up and you get a better picture.
I personally don't care about
Jaggies. Don't bother me.
Yeah, they don't bother me either.
They don't bother me if I get a high frame rate. So
they don't bother me if they're not noticeable.
Yeah.
Like if it's like if the Jaggies are in your face, they bother the shit out of me.
They're in my face a little bit. If it's not like the ship in space, all the edges have Jaggies. I'm like, fucking hell.
No, I mean, like, for example, with me, like, when Jaggies bother the shit out of me, I'm talking about, like, Skyward Sword level of Jaggies.
Oh.
Where it's like, am I playing Zelda or Minecraft?
Oh.
Yeah, like an 8-bit filter over it or something.
Like, that level of Jaggies bothers the shit out of me. But if it's just, like, general Jaggies, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That's me.
Well, the game works
I prefer a higher frame rate.
Yeah.
Game works good. The story is an improvement over the first, but it's kind of just goofy and crazy. Like the stakes aren't really all that. It's like, oh yeah, this guy can he's come to take the light from the traveler, and oh, this device can. Well, actually, that's a spoiler. I mean, not say the next part, not the traveler part. They shot that off. But
damn it, man! I wanted
not
to play
that part.
The game.
But there's a thing that happens. You're like, oh, look at this. This is a cool weapon. It's like, oh, but not gonna go into that. I still need to play like maybe 2 more levels before I beat the campaign. This game is one of those where you go to a new spot. I play the story mission, then I end up playing the game for like 5 hours doing side shit because it just lures me in. And gameplay is great. Destiny feels fantastic on mouse and keyboard. I can't go back to the console version now, not only because it's 30 frames, but because controller for Destiny just feels so obsolete now.
It's kind of gay.
It's kind of gay.
And
that's what I just said.
And
but
the game isn't a massive. The game isn't a massive change from the first one. It's just the more refined version of the first one. Like all the small shit people hated, that's gone and been replaced with something better. As far as like, if you didn't like the first one, you like this one? No.
No. Just outright no.
This is straight for the people that like the first one, and I still enjoy the first. I enjoyed the first one for what it was. I mean, my wallpaper for my laptop shows a picture of Destiny right now.
That's gay.
But I think I just like this game because of the sci-fi aspect. That's probably the main reason. While it has good gameplay, and it's loot based. It's basically fucking Borderlands in space. That's the best way to describe Destiny.
Borderlands.
And although Borderlands is of course way better because it's actually has a story.
It's actually a game.
But just like it's one of those things I enjoy it, but I could give this game a 6 out of 10 right now because I can already see where they're going with this game. Like I look at the map for each of the planets and moons, I see all this space over here with nothing there. I'm like, oh, look at all that DLC space right there. I can already see it, and they're gonna do it for sure. Not with the first two, but they're gonna make a brand new one like next year. At the end of the year, that's gonna just be like a whole new game that you add on to. But good game. Don't buy it full price, or don't buy it at all.
Yeah, I
don't buy it at all. The skin system pisses me off. The loot boxes piss me off.
Yeah,
like and that
Destiny doesn't have loot boxes.
And honestly, that space was like, look at all that empty space for that DLC. No, that's an instant no buy for me.
The loot box system in here actually isn't bad. Of course, I'm biased.
I wasn't gonna buy it anyway.
Now the skin system is dog shit. How the shaders are now consumable, I fucking hate that. But the loot box system actually isn't bad. Yeah, you can buy.
It's a loot box system. It's bad automatically.
Well, you can't really. Well, you can buy the stuff for it, but just like with every other game that handles it, it handles it better than Uncharted 4, ironically, which is fucking crazy.
Wait, Uncharted 4 had a loot box system?
Multiplayer, yeah, bad.
What the fuck?
Bad.
Yeah,
I did not know this.
Bad.
Oh, that knocks that game down a peg for me.
When I first started up the multiplayer, my heart sank.
Sink.
Bad.
Sink.
Like,
yeah, I'm with Jacob. If it's a loot box, any kind of loot box, it's bad.
The sad thing is, Destiny 2's is actually the least scumbaggy, and I'm like, the fact that I have to say the least scumbaggy is just terrible. Battlefront 2 still has the worst I've ever seen in my life.
You know what I just fucking realized?
What?
I have to knock Breath of the Wild down a peg.
Oh yeah.
Because the amiibo are loot boxes. I just realized that they're
physical
loot boxes. Free quote air quoting right now. They're free loot boxes. You pay $14 for the amiibo.
Shit.
So it's just like, oh god, oh whoa, I've made a grave error.
And Samus.
You're back down to a C, Breath of the Wild.
Samus returns. You gotta have to meet me for modes and shit.
You're back down to a C, Breath of the Wild. Oh no. So, I did not make that connection until now. I'm a goddamn idiot.
This loot box shit is going too far.
Yeah,
Battlefront 2 though takes the cake.
Stop.
Battlefront 2 is the worst I've ever seen though. That's straight pay to win bullshit in a $60 game. They gotta stop. But yeah, Destiny 2's loot box system. It sucks, but for Destiny 2's loot box system.
I love that name. That's
that was a good one.
For Destiny
for once in your life.
Loot box system. Shit. It's better than Jacob, but it's still.
Ooh, what the fuck did you just say, you little bitch?
I said the loot box
I'll have you know that I served it. Oh Jesus!
Yeah. Is that the water bottle from the last time we were
here? Most
here?
likely.
Oh, Swansea, clean up. Shit,
I ain't got time for this shit.
Yeah, there's a water bottle that's just in the corner of the room.
I don't have time for shit either.
Like, there's a water bottle that's in the corner of the room, and the last time we were here, we were throwing that at each other.
Yeah.
And I look over, and it's still there.
It missed us.
Where we occasionally talk about video games.
But yeah.
Were we talking about video games? I sort of blacked out.
Yeah.
What time are we at?
An hour or something.
An hour. Woo!
All right.
An hour, 8 minutes, 32 seconds.
But yeah, for Destiny 2, I give it a 6 out of 10 so far. I doubt that score's going to change. And for each DLC they put out, it's going to go down further and further. So by the time the last one comes out, this should get my Vanguard seal of approval and be a 3 out of 10. Jeez. As in, do not buy this game because it's a finesse.
Okay. Cool.
Next.
So, what games have you guys been playing?
Okay. You go ahead.
Boy.
All right. So
go.
I recently bought this game called Astroneer, and I was introduced to it a year ago whenever Markiplier played it, and ever since after that video, it's been on my wish list for that long, and I was going through my wish list, and I was just like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna get it. It's $20. full price. It hasn't gone on sale ever, I think. And I'm okay with it because whenever I see a game that I think I'll enjoy and it's by an indie developer, I like to pay full price to help support the game, like I did with like Lego Worlds or something, and that's a success. I would consider it. But Astroneer is basically if there was a correct version of No Man's Sky mixed with the crafting elements of Subnautica.
It sounds fucking stupid.
and kind of like the gameplay of Lego Worlds, all in one game, and yeah, you're basically in space. Obviously,
it's kind of addicting.
It's really cool.
That sounds like an interesting.
And it
thing.
has a 4-player multiplayer co-op, so I would highly recommend.
Okay.
As
Daniel looks into my eyes.
Yeah, Jacob.
okay, fine. I see how it is.
But yeah, it's very cool. It's still in pre-alpha. It's been there for a long time. But they're still rolling out updates here and there, so that's really good. But yeah, I would highly recommend that any of you pick it up. It's a relaxing game.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
And other than that, I've been playing Just Cause 2 multiplayer. That I just go back to that every now and then, and I'll spend a few days on it.
I want to say real quick, I went back and looked at the Switch. Doom on Switch is fucking 23 gigs.
Oh.
Okay, so then why do you need the SD card for?
You're gonna need one for Doom for sure, because I looked. The Switch has 25 gigs of free memory, not including the OS and all that.
So then you
shouldn't need one for Noir. This article is saying if you have even 2 of Nintendo's games for the Switch, you won't have enough space for LA Noir.
Damn.
And with Doom, that's the whole fucking internal storage right there.
Oh, we completely forgot to talk about Visceral.
Okay, yeah, real talk.
Yeah.
Real talk, I forgot to put
EA shut down Visceral.
EA shut down Visceral Games.
God damn it.
Rant time.
And the reason why is what pisses me off more than anything else. So basically, Visceral was working on a Star Wars game being written by Amy Hennig, who did Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. So they've been working on this game for a while. You make progress on it. Apparently, there was a troubled development cycle, but they've been working on it. EA came along and said, we can't really charge loot boxes for this, charge DLC that much for this. So we're going to cancel this game and close down the studio and transfer it to someone else and give it a new direction. So we're most likely going to get an open world Star Wars game with loot boxes and all that shit. With multiplayer.
Kill me.
And all because EA wants to make more cash on the game.
Because the big thing right now are multiplayer games.
Yeah, and this is what made people start saying, "Oh, single player is dying," even though it's not.
No,
but companies like EA are trying to fucking kill it.
They're trying to perpetuate that story. EA is.
Yeah, EA is trying to kill
the only
single
reason
player, but
EA is doing that is because they know they can make money off of multiplayer, not single player.
Yeah, whatever happened to just making a good game people want to buy.
I mean, look at the first game that Visceral made, Dead Space.
Mm-hmm.
Damn amazing single player game, and then they struck an even better grade of gold. Dead Space was 12 karat gold, and then Dead Space 2 was like 24 karat gold.
Dead Space 2 is considered one of the best horror games.
Isn't there a third one?
Yeah, but it's trash.
It's EA fucked that one.
They made it more action than horror.
Okay, so then that's EA's fault.
Instead of going out in a triumphant hoorah, Dead Space 3 ended the series with like a sad squelching fart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad, but yeah, Dead Space 2 is.
There was a PlayStation Move game. Called Dead Space Extraction.
Yeah, that was also a mobile game.
It was?
Yeah, it was a phone mobile game.
Yeah,
back when at the advent of mobile gaming on phones, when they actually made good games.
Yeah,
it's like Tappy Bird. It was shit like that. Ugh.
Or it's a Time Crisis arcade style game, or like the Terminator arcade game. Like the character automatically moves and you just have to shoot enemies along the way.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty much the only Dead Space game I've ever played.
Yeah.
They're on my wish list, but yeah.
Visceral actually was around a lot longer. They made stuff like Future Cop, LAPD,
but
007 game, the Lord of the Rings games for PS2 and.
Oh, that was under their different name. Like when they released Dead Space, they officially became Visceral Games.
Yeah.
That's what
I was referring to.
My Sims Kingdom, The Godfather 2.
I played that game. I had it on the Wii.
Dead Space Extraction, Dante's Inferno, Sims 3.
They did Dante's Inferno? What the fuck? That game is shit.
Oh, well.
That game is shit. How the fuck did they make such a bad game? Holy shit.
Maybe
I was not expecting that.
Maybe they sectioned off a part of their studio. I don't know.
But
yeah.
This game. Dead Space 3.
I'm baffled by that. How could they make such a bad game?
They did Battlefield 3 in-game DLC? Okay.
Really?
Maybe that's why EA chose them to do Hardline. They did. Oh God! They did Army of Two. The Devil's Cartel.
Oh, if Kevon was here.
No, that one was trash. He likes the 40th Day. The Devil's Cartel was the third game, and no one even knows that game exists. That game was.
I've
bad.
never heard of it.
People played the demo and still canceled my pre-order.
Jesus.
So yeah, that game was, and then their last game. Oh damn! Terrible game to go out on. Their last official game was Battlefield Hardline.
Shit.
Oh my heart.
Trash. That game was trash.
And that was, I'd say, EA stuck their.
I deleted the beta early.
Nasty hand in there.
I never delete a beta early unless it's complete trash. That game was trash.
Oh.
Not only was it trash, it was trash.
I couldn't.
I'm the trash man.
I actually asked someone on my Facebook group. It was $5 on Origin. I was like, "Hey, is Hardline worth $5?" This guy said, "Nah." I'm like, "Damn."
No.
Damn.
Hell the fuck no.
Not even $5.
Ay.
So yeah, and then they could have had a good Star Wars game, but EA fucked it up.
Poor Visceral. I mean, the Visceral didn't deserve that at all.
That picture on the internet is the best thing. They took out like Cup H and then the D. It's just like EA, don't deal with the devil.
Yeah.
That's
Don't get into a contract with EA.
The sad thing about Dead Space 3 is that all the elements are there for a great game. It's just that at the time when Dead Space 3 was released, the big thing was co-op adventure games.
Yeah.
And what's the one thing that goes against the single player experience of you're alone in this infected spaceship? You're alone. What's the one thing that goes against that is having a partner.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the big thing, and EA said, we want some of that shit. And then Visceral's like, don't fucking do this to me. And they're just like, do it. And then we're like, no. And then we got Dead Space 3 and it was shite.
R.I.P.
Don't deal with the devil.
Don't deal with the devil. EA sucks.
This is the shit. This is why they're voted worst company in America multiple times.
What's sad is that pre-2004 EA was actually pretty good.
They used to be great.
Yeah, they were.
They were great.
They released very, I'd say, solid games.
When single player was the end game, EA was fantastic. Then as soon as online started, something changed in their core development team. They're like, oh, this makes even more money. And
like back in the day of like the mid 2000s, Activision was the big bad guy.
That's true.
I mean,
I remember
you can even see it with the Tasmanian Tiger series.
Yeah.
Tai 1 was under EA and it's a great game. Tai 2 was under EA and it was an even better game. Then Tai 3 went to Activision. And Activision said, okay, so we're looking at the focus tests and we're seeing that the male teenage demographic likes dark, edgy games with purple, grays, and blacks. And it's like, that's when we got Night of the Quinkin, which, to be fair, Chrome did the best that they could.
It's not a bad game.
It's not a bad game. It's just
it's
I can smell the Activision, and I'm like, that's just giving me the old goose pimples. Nope.
When money hungry trendy or trend-setting publishers like to stick their grubby little fingers into the developers' work.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I love about how Sony handles their single player team, their own studios. Sony is open for them trying new things and shit.
Yeah. They're Sony as a publishing, like their publishing division is actually pretty good.
Yeah, because like you look at all the Sony devs, they've all either gotten even better and made even better games, or they close. There's no in between. Like you look at Guerrilla making trash ass Killzone games with only one exception being a good game. Then they're like, you know what? Let's go make a RPG where you shoot robot dinosaurs. Now Horizon's a huge success. They actually wanted to try something new. Sony said, go for it. Huge success. Sucker Punch wanted to go from superheroes to samurai shit.
Yeah.
I think this game will be a success. We'll have to wait, but that Naughty Dog.
Yep.
From a spinning bandicoot.
Yeah.
a spinning orange thing with no neck.
From a spinny orange boy. BOI. Who would win?
To an Otso and a boy.
Yeah.
who would win? An orange spinny boy or a blocky green boy?
to a tomb raiding boy.
A tomb raiding boy.
to a zombie fighting boy.
Yep.
Infected
fighting boy.
What the fuck, Naughty Dog?
Naughty Dog has had a weird history. Oh, rest in peace, Visceral. We will miss your Dead Space.
Yep.
So now all we're left is just a dead space in our hearts.
That was corny as shit, but it was still kind of deep.
It was. I felt the feels. I'm not gonna lie.
I've never played Dead Space, but I watched my uncle play Dead Space back when I was a wee lad. So I have good memories, the good memes of them.
I started it. I gotta go back and finish it. But yeah.
Okay.
So that was Visceral. So what games have you been playing, or did we already do that?
Yeah, for me, not you guys.
I haven't gone yet.
I've only been playing Destiny, Matterfall, and I guess Cup Souls.
Oh yeah, Cup. Yeah. I forgot about that. I've been.
Yeah, we all have Cuphead now.
Yeah. I've been playing Cuphead, of course. It's still a good game, still hard. I also have been playing. I went back and replayed Scanner Somber.
Oh, I still gotta get that.
It's a good game. Unfortunately, the game flopped because that developer is known for Prison Architect, which was a massively popular game.
Yeah. That game actually looks cool.
And then they decided to do something a little different, so they created the game Scanner Somber, which is a first-person shooter game where you have like a little light gun, and the game is pitch black. You can't see anything. So what you do is you wear I bumped the microphone. So what you do is you wear a headset, your character does, and you have a little light gun, and you shoot these colorful balls of light everywhere.
Yeah.
And they stick to the walls. And that's how you navigate the caverns. It's pitch dark, it's pitch black. All you can hear are sounds, but you have your light gun, so that's how you navigate to see where you're going is with the light gun. And it's super interesting. It's a great atmospheric horror experience, and it's too bad the game flopped. I would definitely suggest picking up Scanner Somber. At a sale though, $10 is a bit much for that experience. It's like a 1 hour to 2 hour experience, and I think $10 is a wee bit too much. But it's definitely a good game, so I would suggest picking it up. I would suggest it. I've also been playing the Tasmanian Tiger 2, the PC port, and it's so good to play that game and not get motion sick, because that game was really pushing the PlayStation 2 hardware back in the day. So it had motion blur, and it had 30 frame per second frame rate that would drop. Like especially in Buramaji, it would drop. So when you're when you're working the very twitchy camera and you're jumping around, and the way the camera's tight against Ty, I got motion sick, and it's so nice to not get motion sick at that game. And there are some really, really great additions that are happening in Ty, and some great changes. Spoiler warning for some of the updates. that are happening with Tai, and some of the updates that have happened. They've re-added the aqua ring texture. When you go underwater, you have your aqua rings like in the first game, so you don't have like your normal boomerangs above water and underwater. So they kept that continuity. So there's continuity between the first and second game, which is really nice. The chromium orbs now have their own little jingle when you collect them, instead of that little dinging noise that they used to make. They actually have their own little fanfare that George Stamatiades came back in to do. So that's nice. Glad to see he's still alive. Buramunji is no longer split into two sections. There are no load screens between the sections anymore. You can now just go to them. You can now freely navigate between the two, which is really nice. And when you buy boomerangs and then when you upgrade those boomerangs, you lose your old boomerangs. That's not the case anymore. I went to open up the boomerang wheel and there's like a ring of 30. It's like, holy shit, what the hell is this? So they've basically made it so that when you upgrade your boomerang, you're not actually upgrading it. You're buying new ones. So you get to keep all of them. So say if you want to keep your smasher ring, and it's like, say you want to have the kaboomerang, but you also want to keep the smasher ring because you don't want all the boxes to blow up all at once. And you want to break them one by one so you guarantee you collect everything. You can now keep the smasher ring and also have your kaboomerang. You can have your cake and eat it too. And the platinum cogs are now used for skin upgrade for skins. So when you go to the shop where you would buy the keys for the different vehicles, you can get different skins for the 4B and also Tai himself. I personally bought the prototype Tai skin because I thought the green trunks looked kind of cool. It was also cool to play as the concept art Tai. The mud in the overworlds no longer slows you down, and they've increased the speed of the truck. And there are no load screens in the overworld anymore. So unfortunately you won't get the Julius fun facts at random points when the game's desperately trying to load things. So, but it's really fast. So navigating the roads, you will probably crash into the walls, but it's super, super fast. And they've also done some great graphical extras into the game. The beach area used to be really, really barren. It's now full of life. Like, I was looking there, I was like, was that in the original game? No, they've really upgraded a lot of the visuals and a lot of the graphical and visual flair. So Tai 2 is shaping up to be a fantastic port. Definitely get that game at full price, I would say. And that's all I have to say. Those are really the only games we've been playing. I've been doing college work and whatnot. So yeah.
And I got to mention two quick things real quick I saw while I was scrolling. One, this was back to Visceral. Dead Space 2 cost $60 million to make. It sold 4 million copies, and EA said that wasn't good enough.
Oh, God.
So this brings me to our next point. If a game selling 4 million does not turn you a profit, you fucked up somewhere with the budget.
Yes. That's because developers, AAA developers, like to be so extra with all of their features.
Like, damn, just make a game. The game doesn't have to have revolutionary everything and the visuals and all that. Just make a good damn game that doesn't cost that much. Then if it sells a lot, you've made a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
Like, shit.
They want to make all of the money, not some of the money.
So there was that. And then the next thing, people are triggered, because that's the only word I can use about this.
Oh, no.
Triggered about the violence that they saw at the Sony Paris Games Week conference during Detroit Become Human and The Last of Us.
Oh, please. Blow me. Fucking blow me.
Now, the crazy thing about this is I've seen stuff more violent than that at other conferences. I never saw someone cry, oh my God, that was a little too violent. Now, Last of Us's trailer was brutal, but it's the fucking Last of Us. The game world in there is brutal. That's a mature rated game.
That's the reason why they slapped that M rating at the beginning.
To be fair, they didn't do that, but still.
Oh.
It's a Sony conference.
Did they at least do parental advisory?
No.
Oh. Okay.
But no one else has done that. No one's done that.
Though.
when The Last of Us was revealed the first time, they didn't do that shit, and it showed someone getting their fucking face blown for a shotgun at the end of that demo.
They did do that. Yeah.
I didn't see parental warning or anything like that for that demo before it, so they're just crying about something. And I'm seeing a lot of videos now. I just pulled a video saying they missed the point with the trailer. Like, no, they defined the point that this world is dangerous and fucked up.
Yeah.
It's funny. I could kind of see why people would be upset, because personally, I think someone taking a hammer and bashing someone's arm and skull in is way more violent than a shotgun blast to the face, because with a shotgun blast, it's just like, and they're done. But with a hammer, it's slow and arduous. Pap, pap.
It was only her arm,
pap,
and then
it's just excruciatingly long and drawn out. Well, so I think it's just much more brutal than just a shotgun blast brutal. To the face.
I will say, that really wasn't that unsettling to me. I've
seen worse.
It's unsettling to people with a weak constitution.
Well, then they shouldn't be playing games.
I'll be honest. If you get sick over violence in a video game, I think you're having a problem separating real life and fiction.
Yeah.
Because I'm squeamish.
There are some people that have that disconnect.
Because I'm squeamish in real life.
I'm fucking squeamish.
Like, if I see someone bleeding in real life a lot, I gotta turn away before I get sick.
Yeah, I can't.
I remember you were really uncomfortable with that surgery scene from Prometheus.
Oh, God.
Remember that shit?
Yeah.
But then, I'm like that, but then I could play God of War 3 while drinking Kool-Aid. And not feel bad at all.
Like for video games and TV, like if it's fiction, for some reason my mind tells the difference. Like, oh, that's fake. I don't care. Yeah. But at some points I can like, if there's a needle involved, no.
There's only been like 2 times where a movie or a game has grossed me out with blood.
Oh, what was that? What was the game that What was the game that was like a QuickTime that had the QuickTime event where like a needle's being pushed into this guy's eye, and you have to do it. You have to do it very, very carefully, unless you get and if you fuck it up, you actually get like this really gory sort of stab.
Dead Space?
I think that I want to say it was a Dead Space game, but I'm not sure.
I think it was Dead Space.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's the most uncomfortable part of the game. Despite everything, it's the most uncomfortable part of the game, where you have to look. The character has to look forward to carefully guide a needle into their eye, in order to like implant something so that they don't die or get infected or some shit. I can't remember all of it. It's the most brutal thing though, and if you fuck it up, you see the worst shit in your life.
Fuck.
Oh God.
I think it might have been Dead Space. I don't know.
Yeah, that's
back to Dead Space.
God.
It's fucking brutal.
But yeah.
Well, yeah, people are crying about this. My question, first off, where have you been for like the last 8 years of press conferences? This wasn't shit compared to some stuff I've seen.
Like, I can understand. Well, okay, the only reason they should be complaining is if a child was watching, and I can rebut that by saying, don't let your fucking kid watch this conference, you know?
Now, one complaint I saw that does low-key make sense. They were saying that, the direction just changed completely. Because, like, they went from Shadow of the Colossus to that.
I don't give a shit.
Shadow of the Colossus, I mean, you're stabbing the monster. But other than that, it's not a violent game.
Yeah, that is kind of mood whiplash.
They went from that to Last of Us, where a woman got her arm bashed in. Someone got the back of a hammer slammed into their head. Mm-hmm. And
I don't know.
It would be a juxtaposition of emotion. It'd be like if Nintendo's going on like, oh, happy Pikmin and happy Mario, Doom. Yeah. Oh, now we're going over to the new Pikmin and the Animal Crossing.
Just so when they don't complain about that, I can be like, oh, where's the complaints now?
Yeah, seriously.
But yeah.
I could see people was just like, that would be like mood whiplash.
They also complained about the Detroit thing because
domestic violence. That was actually a little more unsettling to me than the last.
Yeah, because it was a little girl being
like it was like a slow death for that girl. You know. Like,
oh my God!
Yeah.
What the fuck was this trailer? Holy shit!
It, but like,
they don't.
He like goes upstairs with a belt.
I missed this conference. Jesus,
he just places her corpse on the bed. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, so you can assume he like strangled her or something.
Holy fuck!
That to me was more unsettling.
Yeah.
But
oh my God!
Regardless, I wasn't affected as much as to be triggered like that.
I saw it, I'm like, damn, they're really going out with the realism in this game. I'm like, okay, but I don't get.
But that's why that trailer for that game was so involving.
Yeah.
Was because it's like, okay, you need to step in or else this girl is gonna die, and they show you what happens if you're passive. So, but yeah, that they need to suck it up.
Yeah, stop crying.
I have
suck it up or suck a dick.
I have kind of like a viewer or listener based question, kind of like the topic we did before, and we talked about this earlier before the podcast. What video game have you played the most in your life? Like how, in terms of like how many hours have you racked up or something overall? 4
words. Fuck if I know.
For me, it'd have to be lowered to 4 games. It'd have to be Minecraft, Uncharted 2, Just Cause 2 multiplayer mod, and Super Mario Sunshine. Not in that order. I don't know, but it's just those 4 I've played the most in my life.
And mine's either Ratchet & Clank Tools of Destruction, Ratchet Deadlocked, or Uncharted 2. It's one of those.
Yeah.
Fuck if I know. I mean, if I had to take my best stab at it, I'd have to... I don't know. I honestly really don't know. I guess Jak and Daxter: The Precursor Legacy, just because of the sheer number of times I've played through it.
Yeah. So,
fuck if I know. I don't know.
Yo, imagine if we could have a counter for all the times we played Smash Bros.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Smash Bros.
Damn.
I would for Smash Bros. I would consider that in the series. I wouldn't really.
I wouldn't consider an individual game. I'd be the whole series.
Smash Brothers would not be up there for me. It really would not be, because I think in Brawl I put in just a little bit over 50 hours.
Yeah,
it's not much.
But yeah, so whatever video games you guys think you've played the most. If
anyone's watching, put that in the comments.
Yeah, if anyone's watching. No, but yeah, just put it in the comments.
I'm going to try something different with this podcast. We're going to put the first few minutes on SoundCloud. See if we can reach a farther audience.
Listen to us, please.
Please.
We're shouting into the aether.
Yes.
But that was Tech Peasants Podcast, episode 15.
We're staring into the abyss, and the abyss says, fuck you, I'm not staring back, you're boring.
We're about to play games, then go see Thor. So, remember to like the video.
Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do the outros right now. Daniel?
Wait, what games have you been playing?
I just said Destiny, Cuphead, Matterfall.
Never mind.
You stupid son of a bitch.
Shut the fuck up.
You
just say you're gonna fuck everyone's mom.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've informed the viewer of why I will be fucking their mom.
God.
And that is because you cannot follow me on any platform. I will be the shadow of the group. If there comes a time where I will allow,
you're the symbol of hope
that I will grace you, the listener, of any part of my whereabouts, I will say it. But until then, I will fuck your mom.
Jesus Christ.
Next.
You got so poetic with yours. I can never top that. My name is Jacob of RetroTech. You can find me pretty much everywhere at RetroTechComs. That would be Twitter at RetroTechComs. Pretty much everywhere is just Jacob of RetroTech, Jacob-of-RetroTech, or RetroTechComs. Honestly, I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and you can find my photography and other multimedia works on jacob-of-retrotech.deviantart.com. But that's not going to be there for long, because I'm currently building my own website using my HTML and CSS skills. So that'll be cool. Whenever I actually finish building that website, my work will be there. And I will inform you of that until then. Yeah. Shut up.
All right. You can. I'm just gonna say follow me on Twitter. All my other platforms are getting ignored right now, and they probably keep getting ignored. I don't have time for YouTube anymore. This podcast is the only thing I actually do for YouTube now and watch stuff. So, yeah, catch me getting finessed and need on Battle.net. And subscribe to the channel. We have the podcast at least once a month.
Yeah.
Did you just swat at a fly or fan your laptop?
The fly.
Oh, okay.
Both.
Okay. Because it's getting hot. So, yeah, peace out.
See ya.
Bye-bye.